Hi, welcome to WHS News Channel 3.
Today we're going to be interviewing the man who is responsible for the death of 50 million Germans. In this interview, we will get behind the scenes details on how this man rose to power.
We have newscaster Sapp in the interview room with the man himself, Adolf Hitler.
In this interview, I'll be asking Mr. Hitler various questions on how he managed to claim the rights of Jews, kill millions of innocent people, and became the dictator of Germany. So let's start at an earlier time. How was life growing up?
Growing up? Well, I grew up in Austria. I had 5 siblings, but 3 of them died at an early age. I grew up with a passion to paint and wanted to go into painting for a career, but my dad had other plans for me. He wanted me to be a civil servant, but he died when I was only 13. And after that, I decided to drop out of school and apply for Vienna Academy of Fine Arts.
Did they accept you?
No, actually they denied me because I failed the entrance exam twice.
I'm sorry. All that can really mess someone up mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, it was really tough growing up.
What did you do after that?
I ran away from home and I left Austria.
Why did you leave Austria?
I didn't want to fight for Austria because they were trying to draft every man into the military.
Where did you go after that?
I went to Germany and I fell in love with it instantly, so I decided to fight for them.
Did you achieve anything when fighting for them?
Yes, actually, I earned the highest military honor, the Iron Cross, twice.
Amazing. So you're a natural leader.
I would think so. I captured 4 French soldiers single-handedly.
So tell me, how did you feel after Germany lost World War I?
I was really depressed and angry that we backed down and we gave up.
Who did you blame for the loss?
I blamed the government, who was mostly made up of Jews. They're the reason we lost.
Did you quit the military after that?
No, I became an undercover agent.
So how did you end up joining the Workers' Party?
I was hired to investigate the party. I went around and talked to people and they seemed to really like me. I spoke my mind about the war and told them whose fault it was. I told them that it wasn't Germany's fault, it was the Jews. I gave a speech and they liked it, so they asked me to join them. I accepted the offer.
So how did you get them to become the Nazi Party?
The more I spoke of my ideas, the more they liked them. They started to like me more and they started to listen to me more. I suggested changing the name and they went for it.
What are the main things you think the Germans liked most in your speech of 25 points?
After World War I, when we were handed the Treaty of Versailles and went into a depression, people became very vulnerable and desperate. They would do anything to change that. I spoke of revoking the treaty and helping Germany get out of the depression. I talked about how they wouldn't be poor if it weren't for the stupid Jews making up a majority of the government.
So you're saying because Germany was economically depressed and had someone to blame other than themselves, they followed you and your beliefs?
Yes, that's exactly why.
So you held a rally, and there is where you declared a revolution.
Yes, I did.
And how did that go?
I had over 2,000 men ready to take over the government, but we failed.
And after that was when you got arrested and charged with treason, right?
Yes, and there I was found guilty, but going on trial helped with the spreading of my ideas.
How so?
I used the media to spread word of the Nazis and our beliefs, and after that, everyone in Germany knew who I was and what I stood for.
How long were you sentenced?
I was sentenced for 5 years.
But you were only in there for 9 months.
I was released early, yes.
So tell us about the book that you wrote while you were in there.
Oh, my book, Mein Kampf, or My Struggle. It's a book telling about my story and my beliefs. Topics included how the Jews were evil, how Germans were the superior race, and how I don't like communism or democracy, and how we needed to conquer Russia. The book sold over 5 million copies.
How did you seize legal power?
I used my popularity from my failed revolution in my book. I spoke in front of audiences about how I could make Germany great again.
That's how the Nazi Party grew so rapidly in a short amount of time?
In 1930, I only had about 8% of the country with me, but as I talked more about my ideas, it raised to 30% in 1932. The government saw my power and offered the position of chancellor.
Why do you think you were appealing to everybody?
Well, I spoke very well. I was looked at as a hero because of my military honors. I told them how to bring back glory to this country, and they had someone else to blame other than themselves, the Jews.
What was the purpose of the group that you called the Brown Shirts?
The Brown Shirts were a group of men who would beat Jews and those who opposed the Nazi Party. By 1933, the only party left was the Nazi Party, and I became dictator of Germany.
How did you, being dictator, help the country and its people?
Our economy was improving, and that's the main reason the people became happy.
So when did you open up the first concentration camp?
The first concentration camp was opened in 1933. It was the camp of Dachau. The first prisoners there were the politicians.
Thank you, Mr. Hitler. That will be all.
And that concludes the interview between Mr. Hitler and Miss Sapp. And that was the story of a once innocent little boy and how he grew to become a monster, claiming the lives of the innocent.
This is WHS News Channel 3 signing out.